Uh, Hello, everybody. My name is Soma. Um, I followed the presidential elections in 2003 4, the Bush presidency. This has generated a lot of interest, in particular, Dr. Ron Paul. Of all the candidates that I have observed or followed, he is the most honest, sincere man, and his explanations are pretty deep. And I did not see that kind of courage and that kind of follow up and that kind of details in any other candidates, be it a Republican or Democrat. And I think most of the Americans are sold out into the war propaganda that there are weapons of mass destruction, and there is evil in all of the places except the US, and you have to defend your country against all that. Well, talking about the policies, I don't understand the economic policies, but Dr. Ron Paul has been putting forth his points, quite a sincere manner, and his explanations are pretty convincing and very logical. Of all other candidates. Now, besides the economic policies, he says that the primary reason why the 9/11 happened is because of the foreign policies, and they seem to be pretty convincing. The U.S. goes all over the world, launches, establishes their military bases all over the world, and thinks that they're doing good. You don't do, or you don't want to, give unsolicited advices or impart or impose your goodness to others when they don't want it. I think that's the reason the US thinks that they are the peacekeepers of the world. Why do you think that way when nobody wants it? No, you don't want to force something on somebody else. No, the same kind of freedom that you talk about in the US. No, you seem to be doing exactly the opposite thing in the world, and that seems to be getting back. Remember, we are not living in the post-World War II era, but we are living in the pre-World War III era, wherein the situation and the environment has changed so much, the politics have changed so much. We can't just think that military might do good, or make others listen. No, not military. Military alone cannot bring peace to the table. That's the colonistic ideas and imperialistic ideas. Remember, if the World War III has to be fought, it has to be fought on the economic front, not on the military might. And that's what I think Dr. Ron Paul has understood very well. Surprisingly, all the candidates have failed. Besides having the best intelligence, best scientists, best research happening in the U.S. That's what something missing in the U.S. Strategic policy makers' minds. Besides military warfare or launching or devising nuclear missiles that can bomb the entire world, I think the biggest invention in the 21st century and of course the 20th century is the suicide bomb. When, after all, what you can do to a person who is so determined to give up his life? You can just apply a taser or a bomb or kill me. That's all the maximum that you can do. That's what the radical terrorists have been taught to do, not taught to die. If you are prepared to die, there is nothing in this world that can stop you, or that can threaten you, or that can manipulate your mind. So the only weapon that you have in this era is truth. Speaking truth, speaking courageously is what is required at this time. That's the only weapon that you have against the radical terrorists who are prepared to die. And that's what Ron Paul has. Remember the political dogma, talking about freedom, do what is best, better education. I can talk like a presidential candidate, but nobody seems to have a clear idea of how they want to do it, except Ron Paul. Though some of his ideas are pretty radical, I don't know what their ramifications could be. He talks about making everything, minimal government. Freedom in the hands of irresponsible is far more dangerous than a dictatorship in the hands of a good man. So I think he has to be very cautious, and it might be a lot more difficult than just talking freedom, implementing the minimalism of the government network. I think though they sound emotionally they're quite appealing, practically they might be very difficult to implement. Nevertheless, he's the only candidate who is appealing to the international audience. Remember again, it's really surprising that some of the candidates like Mitt Romney are just openly admitting, you talk nicely but you have badly. For example, speak softly and hold a stick in your hand. I mean, it's no longer the world where you don't have access to information. For example, somebody sitting in El Salvador has information or can very closely follow what U.S. presidential candidates are talking about. So they pretty much know the truth. You can't just lie or devise policies that are nicely like sugar-coated pills to the international people. I think they're no longer going to work. I think it's time that sincerity and honesty be rewarded, and I hope that all the U.S. Citizens will vote for Ron Paul. And all the best for Ron Paul. Thanks for your time.